This is Max from the 2020 Grand Canyon Experience. Back at the South Rim, I just finished completing my 9th Rim to Rim yesterday. And it's nice to come back to the South and take a look at the North so you could take in, this scene is amazing. So this is a summary that I usually like to do at the end of all my hikes, especially rims to rims. So then I can look back and reflect and see what worked, what didn't work, and pretty much the whole adventure. So this is for me, but if anybody wants to hear about it, well, I'm posting it. But it all kind of started where it shouldn't have even begun almost, because I was supposed to get here yesterday and then camp in the South Rim and then head over to the North the next day, sleep over there overnight, and then take a shuttle to come back. Well, on the way there here, I get a text that the shuttles were all full and they're overbooked people. So I didn't have a ride back home, meaning there would be no hiking because I'd be stuck in the North Rim. For pretty much a whole hour, I was trying to call the shuttle bus and the lobby at the North Rim. I'm like, what can you guys do? I need this. I'm not gonna be able to hike. And they're like, yeah, we'll get back to you. And I'm like, you know what? That's not gonna happen. No one's gonna get back to me. So busy. So I even recorded a video to post telling everybody that, hey, there's gonna be no hike. I'm just gonna come look at the South Rim, camp, and then go back home. But then I decided to just call one more time at the shuttle bus company. This lady's so sweet. I was just kind of almost begging to her. I'm like, look, it's just me. I have no backpack, just my hiking bag. You could tie me to the roof. Just please, I need this. And she's like, you know what? I'll fit you in. And I'm like, fuck yes. So the hike happened. All right. So the Grand Canyon, the North Rim, just opened up 2 days ago on the 15th. And I booked my trip for the 16th. Well, I didn't know that as soon as the North Rim opens, all the rim to rimmers come out. So it was a pretty awesome experience, especially here on the South Rim. And when we started the hike, and it was just all these rim to rimmers. So I was kind of like with my group, and it was neat. I mean, most of them were runners, because those are the really crazy rim to rimmers, and maybe a handful full of us were hikers. But it was just neat going down there, and we kept passing each other out. You never talked because everybody's focused on doing the rim to rim, but you give the nod because you've seen each other many times. So pretty much throughout the whole hike, I was with at least somebody passing by. And then when we got to the North Rim, or the North, just the last rest stop before you have to climb up, it was just a huge gathering of everybody just preparing for this, filling up with water and just stretching. And I'm like, yes, this is where I belong. So just pretty cool that I had a chance to experience that. That was pretty neat. I think if I do any other more rim to rims, I'll probably book it on May 16th. We're supposed to be rim to rim grand opening day. That pretty psyched. So again, I started my hike, and I noticed that I was actually pacing pretty fast. And I think what it was because I wanted to pass people. I couldn't pass the runners for sure, but I wanted to pass all the hikers, and that kind of kept me moving. Until I realized halfway through, I'm like, wait, I haven't stopped for any snacks. I feel great. Let me see where I'm at. And I noticed that I'm almost like an hour ahead of pace of my regular record of getting down there in 3 hours and 29 minutes. So then, like right there and there, I just decided to turn this regular, just number 9th, rim to rim, regular hike to like, let's make this the epic one. Let's make this one to remember. Let me see how hard I could push. I've trained hard enough. I'm equipped with everything I need. Like, why not? And I just went for it. I just put my head down and I just went as fast as I could, which is still hiking, no running. None. That itch came and went. Definitely not for me. Maybe if I lose 15 pounds, I'll do it, but nothing near the radar right now. And then when I got to the bridge, which is considered the bottom, I did it in 2 hours and 30 something minutes. I'm like, oh wait, no, we got to do this. So then what I decided to do is scrape off all tiny snack breaks. Didn't do any of them. All I did was stop 3 times at my regular stop locations to eat, obviously. which was Phantom Ranch, Cottonwood, and the last rest stop before you start climbing up. And it worked. I freaking did it in 10 hours and 53 minutes, which is insane. I think the fastest I ever did was like 12 something, and that was with a group of three other guys, a long time ago too. That was like 10 years ago. So very proud of myself. I'm glad I did it. I will only do this by myself. I would never not take snacks in. When I just tell everybody we always got a snack. But if I had to do something different, if I knew I was gonna go for it and go hard, I wouldn't pack as much as I did. The backpack was a little heavier for just going nonstop and not snacking. So besides that, everything went flawless. Everything felt good, nothing hurt. I mean, at the end, when you start climbing the 9th Rim, everything fucking hurts. That's just expected, no matter how many times. But everything just felt really good all the way to the top. And then I met some other rim to rimmers. Everybody was congratulating everybody up there. That's what felt so good. And I was finishing around the same time as everybody else because I was with like the real deal. And I've met two guys, and they actually went ahead and gave me the ride to the lodge, which is 3 miles less of walking. And then just the whole day at the lodge was just hanging out with elite fucking hikers. And you could tell they're elite because their legs are so long. They're stretched from here to next week. And here I am, this tiny little Puerto Rican with tiny little legs. The little train that could. But met some really good people. Had a lot of chit chat. Everybody was pretty impressed with my 9th Rim2Rim. So a lot of questions. It was just really cool. It was like a convention center for Rim2Rimmers or Comic-Con or something like that, where it was just us freaks that just like doing crazy shit like this. Even here, I'm standing here and I'm looking down. This is a huge fucking hall. And I know people are like, oh yeah, I went there and it's nothing. And I'm like, you know what? And I'm sure you hear it, but you're gonna keep hearing it until you do it. You gotta get down there. And once you experience the Grand Canyon trying to eat you for 22 something miles, and then you come back up here and look at it, then you're gonna be like, all right, my respect, you're a big haul. I hiked you, but I still respect you. So yeah, that's my 9th Rim2Rim. I will be back here again next month for a group Rim2Rim. It'll be my 10th one. I was thinking I was gonna hang my boots up after that and just call it quits for Rim2Rims and finish with 10. But it seems like a lot of people have started to itch to do a Rim2Rim, and they want to hire me after going through this. And I've got a lot of requests. I think like 3 requests. So I might not retire yet. So stay tuned. I hope this video was worth watching. Again, I'll look back at this a few months or a few years from now, and just to get a feel of how I did and what went right and what went wrong. But again, this is Max from the 2020 Grand Canyon Experience, and I'll be back in about 28 days.